My back hurts so bad because I was in bed for fucking 16 hours. I woke up yesterday and bam, we're live. I didn't feel like myself, like maybe like I had allergies or something, or my throat was all scratchy. I didn't know what it was. And then at about noon, my eyes started burning and my head started pounding.
Mm.
It was fucking crazy. And then I just lost all my like physical strength. So at like 2:30, I climbed into bed, and Greg was having this huge, launch of the Broken Science party at his house, and everyone was there. My wife sent me pictures of the kids over there with like Rodney Mullen and shit. And then, guy was stuck in bed. And then finally at like 9 o'clock, I took 4 Advil PM, and I went to sleep. And then I woke up at six this morning. I can't tell if I'm better or not. No respiratory stuff though. You know what I mean? Just all head pounding, and all I can think of is it felt like I had the worst allergies of all time in the world. But I don't really have allergies, so I don't know what it could be.
You sound a little better.
Do I? Okay. I can't tell
Yeah.
what's going on. I'm in so much pain though right now because I was in bed for 18 hours.
Oh, you're back?
Fucked up. And I didn't work out yesterday because I was sick. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Allison, good morning. Welcome back.
I saw Allison briefly last night.
Oh, she was at Greg's?
Yeah, I was like running and gunning though, so I didn't get a chance to say hi. Hi, Allison.
Hi, Caleb.
Hi.
Hi, Caleb.
Hi.
When there's this confusion as human beings that we think that when we have a problem that we're going to think our way out of it. And what's funny about that is it's thinking almost is the cause of every single problem. So you think you have $4,000, you loan it to someone because you think it's yours, and those are all just thoughts, and then the person doesn't pay you back. So now you have a thought that you think that the money was yours and you gave it to that person, and now you think they owe it to you back because that was what you guys decided. But it's all just thinking. It's all made up. It's all delusion. And then the only way ever to get over any of that is to accept the fact that it wasn't your money and let it go. You're not going to think your way out of it. Do you want to die thinking that that person owes you that money? Do you want to hold on to that forever? That's how everything works. You never think your way out of a problem. Never, ever, ever, ever. You have to accept the problem. You never think your way out of a problem. Almost. I mean, I'll say almost because my wife doesn't like it when I say never. Because you have to realize what is a thought, what is a story, what is the narrative, what have you spun up, what lie are you telling yourself? And if you do think you thought yourself out of a problem, I have an eating disorder, you're going to have to at some point accept it. You don't get to add other thoughts to it that make that problem go away.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way. That's not how the brain works. It's not like it doesn't work that way. There's acceptance. Accept the person you absolutely hate the most. God, we're seeing some really disgusting stories. Just another story to call a story a disgusting story. I know it's brutal, man. Acceptance is the only way.
I like the last time you were talking about too, like doing something, and then if somebody doesn't reciprocate in the way you thought, then you're like upset about them or to them, right? Like, hey, Sevan, I just held the door open for you. You didn't even say thank you. Like, fuck off. Like, it's a little bit different, but at the same time,
no,
too,
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and then
because you have a thought that goes with holding the door open for someone.
Yes, exactly. And then now you're thinking, oh well, they didn't reciprocate that thought, so they must dislike me, or I must now dislike them, or you spin some story about how you're angry about it, rather than just doing it because maybe that's the person who you are. You're doing it for yourself.
And then at the dinner table that night, you spin up a story on top of that. I can't believe how rude people are. I held the door open for Starbucks and 6 people walked through and not one of them said thank you to me. Fuck, so guilty of that shit. So guilty.
A while ago, everywhere I always used to go, my dad, everybody called everybody sir. Didn't matter if it was like the gas station attendant outside cleaning out the trash. Didn't matter if it was the guy rummaging through your recyclables to clean it up, or the CEO of some company, right? Everybody was sir. And I remember asking sometimes, no one ever really called you that. Why did he goes, it's not for them, it's for us. It's a standard in the way that we conduct ourselves. So we're not doing it in the hopes of that is reciprocated in somehow. We're doing it because that's the standard that we hold. We're doing it for ourselves. So that always stuck with me.
I need to take my hot girl walk this morning, feeling sort of low. I don't know.
Trish.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, you do sound better. I was worried about you last night when I called you.
Oh yeah.
I've never
Did I send
never
you a
heard you sound
picture?
like that.
I
No.
had two sweatshirts on. I was under the blankets. I was just shaking. I was a mess. Hey, and I was so bummed I wasn't at Greg's event. I mean, I came all the way
Oh
out
my
here to be a part
gosh.
of it.
I know, and it was funny because last night, literally everybody I ran into, they're like, "Oh, hey!" Then the next words, "Where's Sevan?" And I was joking because I was like, whenever I go to events at the gym, I come in and I'll say hi, and everybody goes, "Oh, hey, where's Grace?" And I'm like, "Oh, she's on her way." And then I go to other events and they'll be like, "Hey, where's Sevan?" I'm like, "Hey guys, what about me? Okay?"
What about me?
I was spinning a story. I was spinning the story.
I get that too. But well, if I go somewhere without my wife, where's your wife?
Yeah, I'm like, they don't want to see me.
Um, what the thought that I had that made me think of this thing? It's a little bit disconnected. It's a little disjointed, but CrossFit made a huge mistake. It's crazy because I trained that dude over there who's making these mistakes. It's so sad. They put their apology on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You don't ever do that. You don't ever do that. You don't start your apology. What is your apology? Why would CrossFit apologize for 23.1? Why would they? Come up. I don't care whatever reason you come up with. You don't put it in all three places. As a matter of fact, you don't even put it on any of those platforms. Don, buddy, I am Mr. Don Fall. Maybe I'll see Don today. How bizarre that you would let that apology go on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where you're basically just asking. You might as well have just gone out there and say, "Hey, talk shit about us." Why not put a tasteful apology just on your own website? That's what I would have had my team do. I would have never had my team apologize fucking on social media. It's crazy too, by the way. If you want to see the different kinds of social media, Twitter is really a vicious place. Twitter's like the red, because on
Yes.
Instagram, it's a little more balanced. Hey, it's no big deal. You guys loaded the wrong weights. Fuck it. Bygones be bygones. But Twitter is just like, man, enormous miscalculation, dude. You have children running your shit, bro.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I think if you're talking about it in
It's
terms
not
of
even
apology,
a B team. It's not even a B team. It's not. These are like TikTok people running it. These are like slaves to social media. Why would you apologize? Why would you explain yourself on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or all three places? That's what I mean. You're not gonna. And this is where this is a little deeper bit of wisdom, but you're not going to fix that problem by thinking your way out of it. I was thinking, oh, they think that they're doing that for themselves. They think they're taking like ownership or something by saying sorry on these platforms. There's nuances to this. Just put up a one page, like, hey, we fucked up. This is the situation. And we're working on it. But by the way, when this happened, were you going to say something before I go talk about the Dan Bailey issue?
No, I was only just gonna say, like, in regard to apology, maybe just to Gabby and Laura, right? Because they're like, hey, sorry, you got to do the workout over again. We fucked up. That's on us. If you guys want to post something about it, we're cool with it. We're just gonna release an apology on the website, and it is what it is, and we're just gonna move on from this. Or if you're gonna put it on social media, just lean in hard. Be like, well, guys, we're at it again. You thought it was gonna be better this year? Psych, and then just
or what would have even been crazier is have Adrian come on. A straight video of Adrian. Way harder to hate on Adrian to his face when he's talking to you through video. But to put it on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, I mean, you're just it's like, hey, ass pound us in every room. Like, what are you doing?
That's
why?
just a PR. Yeah, and then on
it's
top
a
of that,
PR debacle. It's a failure. It's a failure. I guarantee you, by saying sorry in all those places, all you've done is let the world know, hey, we're fuck ups, and these people hated us for it. Just on your platform, a single page. This isn't rocket science, Don. But what this is it's having just anyone with the is the word modicum? Modicum?
I need to look that up. Where's Caleb? We didn't look up that word.
He's not in his chair. He's left.
I got it. I look it up.
MODICUM. Is that? God, I should never spell out loud. People find out how dumb I am. yeah, you never do that. You never, ever, 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 ever do that. Apologize on 3 platforms like that with knowing that the net outcome is going to be just attracting haters. Yeah, it's chum for haters.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. If there was 100 people that knew and that cared about it, it's going to be the same 100 people that are going to know and care about it and post
Yes,
it all, whether you do the apology or not, right?
yes,
But
yes.
now it's like you said, you exacerbated the issue. It was like a small little house fire. Now you lit the whole forest
Exacerbated.
on
Yes,
fire. You lit the whole forest on fire. Now the whole place is ablaze instead of just the small contained one. You know, you knew Hiller's going to make a video about it. You know, the podcasts are going to talk about it. You know what I mean? So just let that be, and then just
dude. Hiller went to town.
I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I can only imagine.
He went to
I,
town, and it's got a shit ton of views. Haley, the sheets in that bed are soaking wet because I was sweating all night. I mean, it's like a puddle in there, and you're never gonna believe this. Avi peed the bed last night. I'm on my show, but and the crazy thing is, I mean, it's your fault because you keep him up so late. You took him to the movies and you bought him probably like Twizzlers or some shit. Just blame the wife. Let the 8-year-old off the hook. I'm just joking, babe. Definitely not your fault. But and we're out of soap to do the wash. All right. Well,
that's funny.
you said you guys want a little behind the scenes in my life, dude. I thought for sure last night. So I was so because I got into bed like at 2:30. I was so fucking sick and I was just shaking. And then Avi wanted to sleep with me last night. So and there's a king size bed at this VRBO. So like in the middle of the night, I'm just soaking wet, right? And then a couple hours later, he's tapping me and he's like, I peed my pants. I'm like, no shit. I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm like, that's me. I'm sweating like a pig. He's like, no. I'm like, how do you know? He's all smell.
Smart kid. Didn't pass the smell test.
That was a tough night.
Yeah, I think what you had claimed, the video of Adrian, I think would have probably been the best response there. Just a video of him apologizing and explain the situation, and then just
Explain.
posting it on.
I like what you said. Lean into it.
Yeah, and then just
Ladies
post
and
it on
gentlemen, I'm
before he
Adrian
was there.
Bosman.
Things don't always go as planned.
I
Didn't
get
that
it.
happen at the games one time too? In that
Did I-
thruster jump rope workout where it was loaded wrong and it was supposed to be 135, but it was 125 or something like that.
Maybe, but maybe it was everyone.
It
Sevan,
was
when you are
everyone.
sick, do you feel like you just ignored it and it will go away? Like, yeah, totally. Hey, like literally, I was at yesterday. I took the kids out to eat at this restaurant, and I started just falling apart right there in the restaurant. You know, does that ever happen to you? You're just somewhere and all of a sudden you get sick and you just start falling apart. I was like falling apart, and I'm just like, there's no fucking way. And I kind of enjoyed being sick yesterday. Like, I felt like I was drunk. Kind of enjoyed it. Hey, what about modicum? Does it mean just like a little bit? What's modicum?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
it does.
I had it
Okay.
looked up, but I didn't bring it up here. This is tough on the laptop. Kudos to you, Caleb, for doing this on the laptop overseas. Here we go.
A small quantity of a particular thing. Okay.
That's someone's favorite word now because it says "cum" in it.
Yeah, thank you, modicum. Yeah, I feel so bad for them. Sean O'Key, $50. It's too wow. Thank you. Holy shit, dude. Is that real?
Is it Matt's long lost cousin or something?
I don't know, but that's really kind.
It's him in disguise.
Patrick Vellner got 304. Yeah, just there's just so many mistakes being done over there that don't need to happen. I mean, it's good for me.
It's great content.
Yeah, and it allows me to get on my high horse and just be like, yo, yeah. This mistake is so bad that I actually thought about not saying it on the air and just going straight to Dawn with it. Like text Dawn and be like, yo, Dawn, what the fuck, dude? But
chain of command, Sevan. You can't just go straight to the top all the time. You got to route all your sources first.
My wife Marie and I watch the all the time and love your show. Well, thank you. Say hi to Marie. Thanks for waking people up, guys. We're doing our best. Laura did the workout again, got 261. Top girl score is 380. Not possible, right?
Okay.
Is that one of those the fake scores? Somebody inputs it wrong.
Definitely.
We had somebody from our gym do that like probably 3 years ago on accident, like did the scaled version of like the handstand, one of the handstand push-up workouts. And then Morning Chalk Up published her on it. It was like the top 3 scores are, and her name was up
Oh,
the car, and she was like
awesome.
mortified. She was so terrified about it. We
It's
thought it was
awesome.
hilarious. I gotta find it. We still have screenshots of it.
I don't remember what year it was, but one of the years when we did the Open, we did it in someone's garage at their house. And Joe Alexander, I think he's a flow master and a former Navy SEAL. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. He was judging Dan Bailey, and he miscounted one of the reps or 2 of the reps.
Yeah, and that was
And
one of those things that you needed all the cleans to advance. So that's like a big deal.
okay, yeah. And what ends up happening is Joe Alexander lost his job. He didn't lose his job as a flow master, but he was no longer allowed to judge that year at the CrossFit Games. There was a swift and immediate. And I love Joe. Everyone loves Joe. Joe's awesome. Joe's fucking the man. I've been part of the equipment. I've been part of the equipment on the gym multiple years, and we have to check the weights multiple times and caught mistakes too. Oh, so I'm guessing Vincent Ramos at his affiliate, he's the dude who sets up the gear for the Open.
No, he's a volunteer at the games.
Oh,
Yeah,
how do you know that?
I met him at the games.
Damn, you know your shit.
Yeah, and Vincent, I do have those shoes. So next time I run out to Sevan's house to return equipment, and we hang out when he gets back to Santa Cruz, I'll take care of that for you and make sure he gets the note.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah. The top men's validated rep from we're getting a report right now is 380, but the video link is broken. That's 76 more reps than Vellner.
That's awesome.
It's validated, but the link's broken. That makes sense.
I guess there's some issue with the tiebreaker too. All right. Anyway, it just lets you know. I guess we could just be patient there. But it's definitely the rookie hour over there. That wall ball target. I don't know if you guys remember, but we talked about what it said in the what is that called? Not the range of motion, but in the rule book. Well, that too, and that's where I was going. In the rule book, it talks about where the wall ball has to hit, and then someone showed me. Not only is that in the rule book for the games, but that's in the judges course. Yeah. And
there was a discrepancy between the two.
Dude, the picture doesn't match up to what the writing says.
Classic.
The picture doesn't match the writing.
Classic. Was it an old photo?
So you don't know. So you don't know what the rules of the what? There's a word for it. It'll come to me. Some sort of phrase.
I think
valid. You don't know what's a valid throw. Here it is. Oh yeah. Wow, Caleb, you're good. This is someone sent me this in a text. Judges course I took last night to validate scores versus the standards. You can't make this shit up. So it says the ball has to clear, the center of the ball has to clearly go over the line, and they have a red cross by it. But the center of that ball is clearly over the line, and then the picture shows it the ball over the line. It's like, which one is it? And then look at the top one. Check. I mean, it's so bizarre. They live in bizarro world, dude. Oh, I don't know if that's what I'm doing. Are you comparing the judges' course photo to the new standard? I think it was the same. I think it was the same photo.
I think that the top one is from the judges' course, and the bottom one is from the standard.
Just get the wall ball over the 10-foot target. You mean the whole ball, or you just have to hit it? I say you should just have to hit it. Just make a target, and I guess some people. It's not just floating. I don't know if it is simple, Victor.
I don't think it's that simple. The judges course was having issues too. The server, Caleb, did you take it by any chance?
No, I didn't.
Like the server and stuff on it was like super slow, and it would save your stuff, and then you go back and you'd have to like repeat it. And it kept just putting in this infinite loop of the pulling one where you would get all the questions right, and then it like wouldn't save, and then it wouldn't say complete, and I had to go back and like redo it. It got to the point where you just knew the answers. It was like 6.
That's like all all the computer training that we have to do in the military. Like it'll eventually you just keep repeating and repeating, and then you know all the answers.
Trish says sorry. I'm a bit foggy this morning. Well, that's weird that you said sorry. It seems out of character that you're saying
She
sorry.
never says sorry.
Yeah. I'm a bit foggy this morning too. 448. This is a good one. I think I don't know who this guy is, but I think he makes 2 appearances on the show this morning. Here we go.
In the Deep South, days of KKK, Jim Crow segregation. It was the greatest environment for a young man to grow up in. We as Black Americans, even though segregated, were the same way as other Americans across our country. It was the Jewish communities, it was the Polish communities, the German communities, it was all together. They understood one thing about our country. What a great place to be. We're all proud to be Americans. And we understood the only way that you can actually get respect is not through demanding it, but commanding it. And how do you command respect? The old American way? You work harder, you run harder, you study harder, and you gain people's respect. That was my community, by the way. A little history that you don't know about, because left has done a really good job of hiding this process. You see, it was the 30s, the 40s, 50s, and 60s. There was a Black community, my community, that led our country in the growth of the middle class. Men matriculated from college. Men committed to marriage, over 70% in the percentage of entrepreneurs. And that entrepreneur base of 40% in our community led to 50 to 60% of Black Americans in the 1960s being part of the middle class. So don't believe the leftists about how oppressed we've been. We were kicking butt, period. I lived it. I grew up in the Deep South, days of KKK.
And you can see all the statistics, by the way, if you pick up a Thomas Sowell book. Thomas Sowell. The oldest Bible in the world, 1,100 years old. This is for you guys out there. This is for my base, the Bible beating base. For my Christian base.
For the caller yesterday.
Yes. I think that is true though. Isn't that weird about the show? I think the show does have like a Christian base.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
I'd have never in a fucking million years thought that I would be like surrounded by Christians. Like if you'd asked me when I was like in the 10th grade. Yeah, for like 10th grade, 2 years ago.
Like 10th grade.
I'm confused. I'm confused too. Dude, so this story, Sousa's gonna love this story. Sousa, I think this dude who owns this Bible bought it for $375,000 or $275, not even that long ago.
Wow.
I want to say in the last 20 years. And I think he's gonna sell it for I saw anywhere between 35 and 50 million. Oldest near complete Hebrew Bible set to fetch 50 million at auction.
Oh, shit.
I think it was printed in 1100 AD. Sotheby's will bring Sotheby's will bring a classic, your favorite book, the Bible. I just made that up. A Codex Sassoon. That's what will bring the Codex Sassoon, the earliest, most complete Hebrew Bible extent dating to the late 9th century, to auction in May. Composed of 24 books divided into 3 parts. The Pentateuch, the prophets, Pentateuch, the prophets, and the writings. The Hebrew Bible makes up the foundation for Judaism, as well as the other
Abrahamic.
Thank you. Abrahamic faiths. Thank you, Caleb. See if you can whisper those so people don't hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christianity, in which these texts are referred to as the Old Testament and are incorporated into the biblical canon by the Catholic, Orthodox, and Protestant sects, among others. Oh, that's the OG book where all like as well as Islam. So all these other this is like it's like some book that like J.R. Rowling made, and then there's like a million spin-offs, right?
It's like
this
the
is like
Rosetta Stone.
There's like so many spin-offs off this original Bible. Islam, the Jews, everyone's like splitting their own shit off. Or were the Jews the first one? The Christians are the split off. Anyway, I wonder if you can buy this book like a reprint of it now. You know what I mean? Like the guy who owns it for 50 million. Here we go. Coming to auction for the first time in more than 30 years with an estimate of $30 to $50 million. Damn. Sotheby's recently established a new benchmark for the historical texts and manuscripts at auction with the sale of the first printing of the U.S. Constitution. Dude, it's a fucking printing, and it got $43 million for the first printing of the U.S. Constitution. Excuse me. While the Sassoon Bible has been recognized for its importance by scholars for generations, it has remained virtually out of public view for centuries and will be exhibited for the first time in 40 years at Sotheby's London, before moving to Tel Aviv in March, Dallas in April, Los Angeles in April, and finally New York in May. Several owners' notes found on the pages of this manuscript attest to the travels of the Codex. Imagine you wrote in that book.
Dude.
Like you just put like a little note to yourself that has nothing to do with the Bible.
Love this verse.
Yeah, or don't
Highlighted
forget
it.
don't forget after you read to take the to feed the cows. It was probably rebound at this stage. Okay, so it's been rebound by an anonymous hand, added a dedicatory inscription to the pages consecrated to the Lord God of Israel, to the synagogue Maccasan. Surprisingly little is known about the Jewish history of Maccasan, except that the famed early 12th century Norman convert to Judaism, Obadiah Hager, passed through her town on his way from Aleppo to Baghdad. Oh, so someone converted this cat to being a Jew, to a Jew. Can you imagine that? Someone just passes through your town on the back of a donkey and switches you from Christian to Jew? Come here. Look at Chris. Draw a dick on it. How hot Abraham's wife? How hot? Can you believe how hot Abraham's wife was? Dude, there's no way you could be drunk at 6:30 a.m. Anyway, so some books increase in value. Did you have fun yesterday? What are you doing at Greg's, Souza?
Yesterday, we just went there and I took some still photos and got everybody's, tried
You're
to get
part of the
everybody's
Broken Science media team.
Yeah. So I got some still photos of the people at the event, and then we just worked with a couple people to make sure all their slide deck was ready. And I actually wasn't there for very long. I pulled the Dave. I showed up for 5 minutes, took a shitload of selfies, bounced.
Oh, no shit.
Pretty much. I did minus.
Well,
the
you had been there
selfies
all.
part.
You had been there all. You had been there all day, right?
Yeah. And minus selfies part. And then we came back to the ballroom, which I am in right now, and got everything set. And then I actually just decided to do the podcast in here so we could just run it right up until the time I have to start working in here.
Oh, you're in the ballroom where the Broken Science event's going to take place?
Yeah. Want to see it?
Yeah. Is anyone else in there?
Negative. In fact, I showed up and they don't actually lock the doors. Apparently, they just zip tie them together. And the poor security guard that was trying to let me in at 7 a.m., which we asked to have it opened at, had
Yeah.
like a pair of like kids' scissors trying to like get them. And I would just felt bad for the guy because the zip tie was like super thick. It was like FBI raid your house thick.
Did he get it? But he got it open?
Oh, he got it. Yeah. It just took a moment. And I was just sweating, standing there at my backpack, which wasn't helpful because I'm watching the time go on to get ready for the podcast. And so I just kind of hovering over his shoulder. But here we go. So this is looking out from the stage.
All we can see. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Wow. Oh, shit. That's nice. I'll be standing in the back somewhere. Do you think it's irresponsible? Do you think it's irresponsible of me to come there if I was sick yesterday?
Not if you stay in the back.
Oh, not
6
put a
feet.
mask
6
on.
feet.
This is what the front of it looks like.
Souza doesn't have a knife, Kenneth DeLapp. That's amateur hour.
Well, yeah.
I flew here, brother.
No check bags.
Never. Not if
You
I
gotta
can
get-
avoid it.
You got to get one of those like fiberglass things. You just sneak it through security.
A fiberglass thing?
There's like they have these knives that won't get picked up by TSA. And you just hide it in your belt loop.
That makes me feel comfortable.
Bad guys will do bad guy things, man.
100%.
My parents made me go to Sunday school. By the way, when you donate $50, I'll read all your shit. Sean O'Keefe. Parents made
Automatic.
Yeah, automatic. Parents made us go to Sunday school. I always used humor to get through it. I believe there is a God, but man's influence ruined my family going to church. I mean, there's that phrase, right? God was made in the image of man. Okay. Okay. LeBron Ledouche, 446.
LeBron Ledouche.
Oh, hey, Bruce, you know what's crazy? The show numbers are skyrocketing, by the way. And the live viewership is it's weird. It's like doubled. I wonder how much of that has to do with the fact that you started making thumbnails. I want to say it's 0, but I think I'm lying to myself. I want to say it's all because of me, but I suspect it is not true.
Some awesome thumbnails.
Yeah. So thank you. I think you have changed the game for us, Bruce Wayne. Bruce posted a picture of himself yesterday. He looked like John Travolta. It was a trip. A former NBA player takes vicious shot at LeBron James after he broke scoring record. By the way, it's not a vicious shot at all. Morals 0, values 0, principles 0, empathy 0, bow down to China 1. Congratulations to King James for breaking the all-time scoring record, 38,388. I'm not. It's cool. Basketball's cool. Of all the professional sports, I think it's one of the coolest for sure. The athleticism, all that. But at the end of the day, it's just putting a ball through a hoop. It is nothing. It is just such nothingness. And if you become great at doing something that's so meaningless as LeBron, and you don't have morals, values, principles, or empathy, and you bow down to China, you're kind of the worst kind of human beings. Imagine how he could change the world. Imagine if he would have said, "Hey, I'm not taking the injection," and I say that everyone in the NBA not take it. Hey, I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. I believe all lives matter. What if he'd have done all that? What if him and Lil Wayne, Denzel, and Morgan Freeman would have got together, been like, "Yo, it's like this, motherfuckers."
Damn.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, if you actually
crazy.
He was super young when he got brought into the fold of the Hollywood fucking media.
You want to get rid of
machine.
a word? I could get behind this. You want to get rid of a word? Never say black people again. Never distinguish between ethnicity or never describe someone by skin color. Let's just switch to ethnicity. I was talking about that yesterday about Elizabeth Akinwale. I could give 2 fucks about her being the most decorated black female CrossFit athlete or black athlete. I want to know what ethnicity she is. Where's she from? Where's your people? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and most people won't even get past your first sentence of that before the outrage kicks in. The story spins up, and they don't even understand what you said.
You mean in regards to what? Whoa, you mean what I just said just now?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're clueless.
They would never even get past the very first sentence. It would just stick there, and they're like, "Oh, there it is. We found it. Attack."
It's crazy.
They're like, "Hold on, did you listen to the whole thing?" No.
Hey, I do think it would be. I do think it would be crazy impressive though. If like a girl, like I do think it's pretty crazy impressive when girls make it in guys sports. But there's like if there was a field goal kicker or something in the NFL, I could get behind that. Like then distinguishing. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's so like I do think that I don't think that there's a difference between people with black skin and white skin, but I do think that there's a difference between people with penises and vaginas. Call me weird.
Evident by a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm just weird like that. And I think if you do start distinguishing between people like that, strictly by the color of their skin, instead of celebrating, what you're really doing on the most deepest, once again, it's just how the human brain works. It's like how if you tell someone don't fall, all you're telling them you're just introducing the idea of fall to them. We don't do don'ts as human beings. That's like one of the hardest things as a parent. You see your kid doing something like that scares you. You should give them like, hold on tight, not don't fall. You're strong. I know you're strong. Just say something good like that. God, you're strong. But put your attention on your hands. But when you think you're celebrating a difference, all you're doing is reinforcing the difference. And I think it is okay to reinforce the difference between men and women. I don't think that. I think
it should be celebrated.
Yeah, celebrated. Thank you.
Celebrated. It should be celebrated, and there's it's like the yin and yang, man. It's the 2 opposite sides, but they balance each other out. Without one, you can't have the other.
Look at Brian Spin knows all the good shit. I think her dad's from Nigeria.
On the case.
What about Cara Saunders? Did you see her post? Someone sent this to me this morning. I'm slow. I don't know why. I didn't know bury my cock in her.
I'm just glad you didn't, because I would have got hammered by you guys if I was the only one.
Hey, so yesterday I was freaking out about everything.
Well, now everybody is coming out saying, "Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't."
I made a safe space. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Susan's like, yeah, my first handy was from my neighbor. His name was Todd. Yeah, I made it safe. It's okay.
Dude, my first handy was from a neighbor named Todd.
Yeah,
everybody just comes out. It was the same dude. What the hell?
Yeah.
Holy shit, we're all neighbors.
Todd's just out here skiing.
He's made. Susan's made it safe. So yesterday I was freaking out the whole show, looking at the names, and then finally, someone gave me one. What, it was like Eaton Ass or something.
Huge anus.
Or there was Hugh Asshole. Hugh, and then there was Eaton Ass, I think. EATON. Anyway, there'll be a name in there eventually.
It was pretty funny. He was so proud of himself.
Have you ever known anyone who's like a horse person, like a hardcore horse person? Like they got horses. And have you ever heard them talk about how sometimes you have to break a horse?
Yeah.
No.
It sounds like the fucking worst thing ever. I don't think I would be made to do that. It's basically you have to fight the horse. Here it is. Eating my ass. Welcome to the show, Eaton. I guess when I say you fight the horse, you have to abuse the horse. You have to like beat up the horse. You have to do some shit that like looks like you should go to jail. I can't believe it's okay to do it. But if you hit 444, here's a guy trying to break his horse, and I personally like the way this one ends. I think in a lot of circumstances it might not be so good. This one's going to be kind of hard to see. You'll see it a few times, and don't worry, they play it in slow motion. It's some pretty crazy shit. Enjoy this. I don't know why I follow this Instagram account, but I do. This is the same one last week where they put the horse in the back of the truck that was full of people. You might have to mute it. Okay, so he kicks the horse, right? And then after this, they're going to show you how he's kind of chasing the horse in a circle. So like the horse knows it's coming. Look how much that guy's pulling on the horse's face so he can lean back and kicking him at the same time. It's like grabbing the back of some dude's head and then kneeing him in the face. Okay, here we go. Boom. Now look at this. Boom.
Oh,
look how he's chasing. That horse knows he's going to get kicked. Look, and boom.
Horses are smart. They kind of know what's, but they're also.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't think you get to kick someone. and look at that. That dude kicks his toe. That dude's got like boots on, right? He kicks his toe into the underside of the horse.
It looks like it's like his shin. He like puts his shin right under his belly.
You get some.
Well, that makes me feel better. Hey, if you're gonna kick a horse like that, you got to be smart enough not to be in the wrong.
Well, that's why he's got his vest on.
Oh my goodness. So Corey, there is a list of there's a list, buddy. A list.
You're not on the list.
You're not on the list, but there's a list that I send every morning to Caleb and Souza.
He's been tripping out for like the past 30 minutes.
The horse knew it was coming. It's been kicked before. Yeah. Uh-oh. I'm starting to get sick again. Have I ever blown my nose on air?
Might be a first.
You've done far worse.
Oh, thank you. I knew someone would chime in here. It's a hot girl with thick black hair. Renee Pape. Is that a real name? Renee Pape? Renee Pape.
I think so.
Okay. I live on a ranch, and this is not normal for breaking a horse. I've trained a lot of horses, and so has my family. This is the worst of the worst on YouTube. Oh, good. Well, that makes me happy. So you like it that horse kicked him too. Sit down, dude. Wow.
I think usually they just exercise them without anybody on them for like an extended period of time.
Say that again, Caleb.
They usually just like exercise them without anybody on them for an extended period of time. So they'll just like run them in a circle a bunch until they finally are done.
Oh,
Like
so
break
then
them down.
so then they'll chill out a little bit.
Right.
Renee,
That
are you
makes
a
sense.
crazy horse
I do
girl?
that to my kids.
I mean,
What'd you say?
you dogs, horses, kids, all the same.
Girlfriends. What did you say, Susan?
I asked Renee if she's a crazy horse girl. I've only met one girl that was really into horses, and she was
Nuts.
yeah, in like a good way though, I guess.
Meaning
Susan, were you a fan of the horse girl?
Meaning she was good in bed. Is that what you're saying? Okay. I'll call her hi.
What's up, boys? It's Plumber.
Plumber. If a guy, just real quick before we have wholesome Plumber on. If a guy calls a woman crazy, that's code for all the other guys know what that means. Just so you know. Like, okay. Okay. Hi, Mr. Plumber. Hi.
Hi, I called because we're talking about horses. I figured you needed something to talk about other than that.
Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
I don't know. I just fucking
figured
I'd say hi.
Okay, Plumber calls me like, your show sucks. I'm gonna add value to it. I'm not sure how.
Adding value.
Where are you these days?
I'm in Indianapolis, finishing up my senior year.
What did you think about 23.1? Did you watch it live?
I didn't watch it live, but I did it yesterday.
And how'd it go?
It went well. I just don't have ring muscle ups. I went fast through the first part though, but yeah.
And oh no. Oh, sorry, Will. Hold on, my wife's talking to me. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. Yes. Say yes. Asking what time we'd like to meet over there. Can you get the boys dressed in time? Okay, Will. What was I going to ask? I was going to ask you something. Oh, let's just get down to the nitty. Horse girls are the best rides. Yeah.
That's a yes.
All right.
All right.
Diggity. What's that guy's name on Family Guy? Diggity. Giggity. What was that guy's name on Family Guy? Osmond?
Quagmire?
Quagmire. Osmond.
He was always in a quagmire.
Hey, Plumber, what did you do? Are you okay with the wrong weights being used? I honestly think that they should. I'm totally okay with it. I think they should have changed the work,out. I'm dead serious.
Should have just changed it to lower the weight?
Yeah, for the whole world. Like, fuck you. Laura and Gabby did it. Fuck off. We change it. It's just gangster.
I think if they wouldn't have gotten called out for it, they wouldn't have done anything. Right?
No way. No way.
It looks like
if they wouldn't have got called out for it, no one would have known because no one on their team knew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it was a green plate and then a blue plate for the men. So, right, you think that's automatically 95, 135. But, right, it takes someone like Mike Halpin to look at it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Good to hear your voice. If you don't have any stories about, did you ever slept with a horse girl?
I've not hooked up with a horse girl. No, I haven't. But I've heard about them.
All right.
Lucky
Did you have a neighbor named Todd?
No, I did not have a neighbor named Todd.
All right.
Plumber, let me say this. You're a young man. You go find yourself a horse girl at least once, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Roger that, Susan. We'll get on it.
Just don't do anything crazy. This is a short relationship for like 60 days or less.
All right.
24 hours.
A quick burn.
Wear your Kevlar vest. All right. Thank you, brother. Oh, shit. I hung up on him. That was on accident.
Bye,
Sorry,
Plumber.
Plumber.
Thank you, Plumber.
I was trying to. I didn't have my phone plugged in. I was checking the battery on it. Sorry, Will. Okay. 445. This one is called Democrat or Republican, a D or an R.
Are we going to guess?
I need a hot toddy and a sauna.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's nice.
I don't know what my head can Glenn Quagmire. Is that really his first name, Glenn? I don't know if my head can handle. I'm very nervous that this headache will come back. The headache was crazy. I don't get headaches. 4:45. I'm gonna as soon as you guys load up in the car, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to breakfast. So this guy's name, this is one of the craziest stories ever. Randy Obernauer, 74, of Kelowna, Canada, cries as he tries to clean his own catheter. That's the thing that goes in your cock, by the way, so you can pee without going to the toilet. It's just like this thing. It's one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever had done to me. I had it done to me as a little kid when I had surgery on my head. It's so you can stay in bed and pee. It's horrible. But anyway, his friends had requested additional care for him, but his care providers asked if he would be interested in undergoing euthanasia instead.
What?
Huh?
You want
Dude,
this or you
I'm
just
pretty
want to
sure
die?
this is a true story, guys. I know you want to be like, no, there's no way this is true. Look this up. This is absolutely nuts. So these are, once again, just throw this in the list of Democrats. I know there's someone out there being like, well, not all Democrats are like that. I'm not talking about all Democrats. What I'm saying is this is part of that platform for that political party.
Fucking nuts.
That doesn't happen under Republican leadership where someone needs their catheter clean and they offer to fucking smoke you. That's fucking one world fucking Nazi socialism, Democrat shit. It's all in that bucket. Well, yeah, of course it's true. It's Canada. Kenneth DeLapp. Yeah. Audrey, my horse girl college roommate had the most gigantic ass. That's just a great sentence. It's from all the English saddle riding. It's from all the Armenian saddle riding. No, it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke. They weren't like, hey, do you want us to kill you? What if they did that? What if the government sent you that? We can just kill you instead. Just kidding. They put like a J/K.
JK at the bottom, unless you're going to do it.
Renee is sad because that chick had a huge ass. Don't be. A huge ass is good. I know you're not talking about the ass. I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't think she's talking about that.
Okay, so this whole I'm probably going to be stuck on this idea for a while. I don't want to alienate my Democrat listeners, my fellow atheists like myself. But
All two of
fuck, dude, our party is fucked up. All the worst shit. We don't have any of the good stuff. We don't have all the dumb shit is our party. We're fucking all the gross fucked up shit. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein was a Republican or a Democrat?
I think he was
I know exactly what he was.
He was on both sides of the fence there, brother.
No, he's a fucking Democrat, dude. He's a fucking Clintonite.
We checked that list out yet?
I started to. Yeah, it's great. I don't want to do it until it becomes like official, whatever that means.
Official, yeah. With the Democrats, one thing you could guarantee is they're going to keep the poor extremely poor. A shitload of people are going to die in a proxy war. The defense budget is going to go through the roof. The military-industrial complex will continue to get its a huge slice of the economic pie.
And I'll get my tiny slice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't even get a slice.
Oh yeah. Are you talking about? Are
you?
you seeing what's happening? What I guess Kamala Harris said two important things today. She's excited about the new school buses because each child will have their own USB charger and the buses will have Wi-Fi, and so that you can further program our kids. And I guess we're saying that they acts against humanity. That Russia's done acts against humanity.
Yeah. Did you see that clip? Where they talked about it was a reporter that was pushing, and I don't know the whole entire context on it, but it looked like it was, a general spokesperson that was up in front, and he was going, Russia's getting its army, and it's really stacking up against on the eastern side. And then the reporter goes, yeah, because isn't NATO pushing over there? And he goes, well,
oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
Because Russia was invading the Ukraine, or
Putin's straight
right.
calling them Nazis now.
And yeah, and he goes, yeah, so Ukraine's not part of NATO though. And
right.
He's like, kind of stops and he goes, well, they're pushing onto the east side. Russia's forming its military. And he goes, again, because NATO is expanding east to its borders. What else is it supposed to do? And he goes, well, we're there to protect Ukraine. And he goes, Ukraine's not part of NATO. do you see the issue here?
Yeah.
So it's actually NATO pushing forward, not the Russians. And it was interesting to watch them squeal a little
If
bit.
you see that, send me that. I want to see that.
I know. I saw it on PVD's podcast. There was just a clip on there about it, but it was crazy.
For those of us living under a European rock, what's the Epstein list about? So
What?
there's
Google that
this
shit.
guy, Jeffrey Epstein, and he had an island, and this island was financed by all the biggest fucking banks. I'm speaking in huge sweeping generalizations, so you get it. But this island were financed by the richest people in the world, owners of Victoria's Secrets, huge fucking banking conglomerates. And basically what he would do is he would fly dudes out there to fuck underage girls. And there's a whole Netflix series on it that's almost impossible to watch. I watched like the first 30 minutes. I wanted to fucking throw up. I don't even want that shit going in my head. I'm in such denial. But basically, he got arrested for it eventually, and then he died mysteriously in jail in the United States. They say he hung himself. But there were supposed to be cameras in his jail, and there were supposed to be guards watching him, and the guards like took a break, and the cameras were turned off. And so now his chick, his main madam, who's hot as fuck, by the way, they don't ever make her look good, but she's in jail, and she was sentenced to jail. And there was, during the court case, there was a list of all of their top clients. And now the list is about to come out, and it's got, people on there like fucking Justin Trudeau and shit like that. And it's going to be wild.
And that shit's crazy, because you remember that when the judge that was originally residing on the case had that FedEx employee come up full on in a FedEx truck and everything else and rang the doorbell when they went to answer for the package. He just fucking whipped out a machine gun and just blasted everybody through the front door.
Where was that? At Epstein's Island?
No, that
What?
was like when the case was going on with Epstein, the judge that was residing over the case, the FedEx delivery truck pulled up like it was going to drop off a package, rang the doorbell,
yes.
fucking blasted
Yes.
her husband, blasted her kid, and she ended up just being downstairs in a different spot at the time, so she didn't get hit. But that's some crazy, like, out of a movie shit. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
oh shit! I just coughed a piece to my lung. Wow. I'll be there in a minute. Hey, that's really what happened. We need to pull that story up. I remember that someone trying to kill the judge. She wasn't killed though, right?
no, she wasn't, but I think her husband and her kid was, or something like that. And I don't know if that dude ever got away or if it ever got caught. That FedEx driver.
What does this mean? Oh shit! There goes my voice. What does this mean? The Epstein mafia all had one thing in common, but Sevan ain't touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
I don't know.
Help a brother out, Simon.
Could be so vague, Simon. Just say it.
God, it's a nice. Oh, that's it. My voice is gone. Son of a bitch.
Husband.
New Jersey federal judge's son killed, husband injured by gunman dressed as a delivery man. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Swept that shit under the rug. I mean, think about the access. Like, if you go try to steal a FedEx truck, how far you think you're gonna get?
Hey, stop saying shit like this. Or scroll down a little bit. This is just ridiculous. Phil Murphy, whose son was murdered and husband seriously wounded yesterday in a brazen, cowardly act of gun violence. There was nothing cowardly about it, you dipshits. I hate it when they do that. Like they call the fucking the 9/11 bombers cowards. Like, shut the fuck up.
They were not cowards.
As psychopaths.
They went in there to die on the plane.
Yeah.
And kill everybody else with them.
Hey, shut it. I wasn't even drinking. Shut it. I don't even drink that much. Stop saying that. Paragon of health. I really am. I really am. Okay. Okay, last one. Here we go. Is your daughter retarded, stupid, or an imbecile? Or does she have a lack of sense of humor or hate the female form? Oh, here we go. So here's the thing. This is just great. This lady thinks that asking that women this girl right here hates the female form and thinks that this question is inappropriate. And this is kind of like, once again, how you expose just bad thinking action.
A lot of people don't watch the women's leagues. Do you think it might help if they played topless?
No, that's extremely misogynistic and disgusting.
Well, the ratings would probably go up, right?
Yeah, but that's pretty
What do you think's a better idea to get the ratings up?
Educate and advocate for women's rights, especially with
No, but where would the money come from? That's why I'm trying to figure out revenue streams.
what you have to spend money to make.
Well, they've definitely been spending money. So no on the topless thing? Your women should play naked?
Yes. Do you like it?
Yeah, I don't mind the is.
Me too.
Nice, dude.
Hey, so here's the deal. That girl thinks that if women play topless, that it would be shitty, disgusting, and misogynistic. Imagine thinking that women topless is disgusting. Imagine that. Explain that to me.
She is a woman.
Well, she's not a lesbian, that's for sure.
Are you out of your fuck? How is that misogynistic? No, you thinking that it's disgusting is misogynistic or getting close to it. That's how ass backwards they are. And I leave you with this. Do you think they're Democrats or Republicans? Okay. I leave the floor to you guys. You guys are great people. Enjoy the rest of the show with Susan, Caleb, and they don't know that I'm about to leave the show. Are you guys ready to go too?
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys get 5 minutes without me.
Don't put that pressure on us.
Nah.
I love you guys. Bye.
Okay. Every time he leaves, I'm always the first thing I thought is like, okay, well, what are we going to talk about? And then 900 things run through my mind at the same exact time, and then I just freeze and don't talk about anything at all.
Yeah. Well, there's a comment from Katie Gannon that I thought was interesting.
Are you going to read it or am I?
I'll read it.
Am I the narrator?
Hey guys, a gym in Anchorage had a nightmare Friday night lights situation. Turn again CrossFit. Partial roof collapse. 1 lost life. 1 critical. They must have got a lot of snow or something. That sounds pretty shitty.
Damn, that's crazy. I think was there a GoFundMe? We could put that up and
yeah, let's find it.
show that. My 23.1 is that hasn't happened. I've been in Phoenix since Wednesday night, but when I did it in 2014, I got 10 muscle ups. I remember that. Which
that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I was probably much fitter then because I was like training full time and still thinking I was going to regionals and how to score 10 muscle ups. You weren't even fucking close to regionals.
That's wild. Yeah, can't remember if I did that in 2014, but I think I did the open, but I don't think I recorded it because I tried to look at my scores and then there was nothing in there.
You talk about Haley and Cara.
Yeah, Sevan brought up.
Not up on that story.
Haley, I didn't realize this, but in Haley's post, she said that she has an eating disorder, and everybody's been saying that. And I was like, where are you seeing that? Apparently, it's true.
So that's why she's like doing the whole step away thing.
Yeah, that's why she's not competing this year. And then Cara said she's not competing this year at all. Like she's not even going to do the open. She said that's the first time in 10 years that she's not doing any competing in CrossFit at all. She even did it when she was pregnant.
That makes sense though, because she's been in it for so long, and like at some point you're just kind of like, how many last runs are you going to give it, right?
Yeah, I was impressed with how she did last year.
Yes, you're back.
No, I'm not. Hey, look at if you guys want to look at something, look at Cara Saunders' most recent post, and she says she can't run. And like an idiot, I went to the fact that like something's wrong with her legs or something. But then someone else mentioned, hey, it's probably because from the someone sent me this and said it's probably from the vax and she can't elevate her heartbeat. Oh, Nelly.
Not this one, is it?
Yeah, this is it. This concerns me a little bit. We should try to get her on the show and see what's going on. Okay, take a, if you guys want something to talk about. This is interesting. I'd be curious to hear you guys speculate on it. I'll be listening in the car. You guys are the best. Bye.
Bye. I'm always like, I wonder too, like how far down the rabbit hole are we going with the whole blame it on the vaccine thing? But it is hard not to do that when you have all these like really fit individuals that all are having a bunch of random issues. And by random, we mean common denominator issues. But I hate always going right to the vaccine speculation.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with all sorts of people. So, I mean, I don't know. Here, let's listen to this.
Everyone, I haven't really done this before, but I thought I would jump on here and give you guys a quick tip for the Open if you are doing the CrossFit Open. So for CrossFitters, this is for you.
I don't think this is it.
She's promoting it. The interesting thing too about like somebody said was it Brian Spin said Haley had eating disorder.
Oh, okay.
And I mean that's tough because didn't she say she was been doing CrossFit since she was 14? Whenever you're ready, go ahead and play it. I'm just chatting about it a little. Oh, Brian Spin says that was it.
Oh, okay.
He said that was the clip. All right, from the top.
Fine.
Everyone, I haven't really done this before, but I thought I would jump on here and give you guys a quick tip for the Open if you are doing the CrossFit Open. So for CrossFitters, this is for you. I have just finished my mobility routine and a 5K walk to start my Saturday because that is all I can do right now. I will not be doing the Open workout, Devo, but it's nice to have a break from something so that you can miss it. Apparently, I got one of the high scores for this workout. I don't remember why or how I did that, but I do know that if you are going to redo the workout, which most people do, you won't get a better score just by really wanting a better score. So make sure you analyze what you did the first time and make some changes. I think a lot of people often think that just because they really wanted or somebody else got a score, that they're just going to automatically do the workout again and they're going to get a better score. And they don't take into consideration the fatigue from the first effort or the fact that maybe they haven't actually changed anything. So make sure you analyze what you did. Try and recover as best you can. Give yourself a big gap before you do it again. You know, mobilize, drink heaps of water, eat heaps of food.
Did Brian Spin lead us in the wrong direction? We just got a bunch of advice from the Open with Car. Nothing about not being able to run.
I guess she did. She did mention that she's only able to walk, so she can't. I mean, it sounds like she can't really elevate her heart rate much. But I mean, that could be a whole host of reasons. She could just be anything. It could be anything. I don't know. That's weird.
The vax obsession in the US is crazy. Total non-issue in the UK. You guys are insane. Like you guys as in us, or are you just blanket stating the whole entire United States? Also too, like what type of like news is coming out with a bunch of athletes having tons of medical issues there? Is that something that is allowed to be said in the UK and that you guys are getting, or what's going on with that? Heaps of food, check. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Blanket the whole US. Good for you, Russ. That's a great mindset. You keep that up and just keep grouping people together. Oversimplifying, overgeneralization. That's what we love.
Yes, nice. Yeah, all of us suck all the time.
I'm not saying that's evidence. I'm saying it's an observation of something that is happening a lot that wasn't happening before. Not claiming it as evidence, just claiming it as a observation. It's easy to go as long as the comments keep going, because then I could just continuously use them for content.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, did you hear about that airplane in December that took off from Kauai and then went up about 2,200 feet and then dropped just above 700 feet above the ocean, only to then accelerate back up to the top and then level back out? 10 minutes after that, as like the people on the plane claimed, it felt like a roller coaster ride. That 10 minutes after that, the pilot came out and was like, "Hey guys, you felt a couple G's there, but we're okay. Everything's okay, and we're back on track."
What the hell? No.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. There's like that plane that does they have like that G plane where like you go up and down and like it like does the weightless flights or whatever. That's how I imagine that being. That's terrifying.
Yeah, they said it was 2.7 Gs that the people felt as it dropped, which is, of course, somehow populated in my news article moments before I got on a plane. So that was great because all of you guys know from the past how I feel about that. And I was like, why the fuck was I scrolling through this and the algorithm populated this in front of me right now? It was not
good. It knows. It can hear your fears. It hears them.
I know it knows. The other thing that was saying about Haley a little bit is like when you start that young, and this is something that we talk about at the gym when we go into like, I like to call it the nutrition reset rather than like a nutrition challenge, because it's not based off like weight loss or body fat like percentage. There's a bunch of different metrics that we take as far as like making it the ultimate goal. But one of the things that I always think about is like when people get into the sport super young and they become very obsessive about measuring and weighing their food and everything else like that, like what type of consequence will that have in the future? And I don't think it's very uncommon for people to experience what Haley is experiencing there with when you become super obsessed about everything that's going into your body and weighing and measuring and stuff like that. What negative effect can you have on you in the long term, right? And I wonder if that has anything to do with what she is experiencing now with the eating disorders.
Yeah, I'm always surprised when you have kids, when you have somebody who starts something so young and they're able to continue to do it for like a long time, like 10, 15 years after, like, especially if you started at 14, 15 years old. I just imagine that has to be either you figured out pretty early how to like balance those things, like being a kid and going to school or hanging out with your friends and stuff like that, or you just like, I don't know. I imagine you just have to figure out really early how to sort that stuff out. Otherwise, you're gonna get burnt out and you're gonna not enjoy doing it anymore.
Yeah,
like Devin
100%.
Kim,
I mean,
think is a good example of that. I mean, I don't know her super well, but it just seems like she's got a little bit of a balance there where she gets to hang out with her friends. She doesn't really seem to be super neurotic about everything.
yeah, I mean, you have to be and this it's not just a CrossFit thing. Obviously, we just use this as an example, but you guys know that you've had a freaking coach that's just completely obsessed with the record of the team, and you might be a talent on that, so all of a sudden there's a ton of pressure to do well and all this stuff, and it just becomes like this obsession, and the long term of that is not good, because if you think, even if you have a long career in CrossFit, somebody like, let's use Tia as an example, right, was won 7 times, that's still such a small portion of your life. So without actually having somebody who's looking at everything holistically, meaning like, hey, there's going to be an after this, and what are we doing, and what type of things are we doing now that aren't going to be realistic in the future, and how do we balance that out to make sure that there's some longevity to what you're doing, is super important. Because if you don't have that, and you're just solely focused on that little portion, like that's when people have serious issues coming out of it, because their whole identity is wrapped up in just that one thing. I mean, every day and the way they live their life and everything else, which is going to happen either way. But if you have somebody guiding you in the right direction, especially I'm talking about teenagers here, and let them know that, hey, this is just a small portion of your life. We hope that you have a long, great career and you could do this professionally, but there's no way that, we need to think and set everything up like that right now.
It's similar to like when you have people who join the military at 17, 18 years old and they're fresh out of high school. I mean, some of them even have done like ROTC in high school and stuff like that, where they've just obsessed so much about being in the military, and that's like their only identity. They wear the camo clothes outside a uniform. They're like, everything about them is screaming like, hey, I'm in the military kind of thing. And then they stay in for 10, 15, 20 years. And as soon as they get out, they don't know what to do with themselves. Like they're 38
Right.
years old and they can pick up another career and they don't know what they're like. Well, I've been an infantryman for 20 years, or I've been like, I've just run and gun for so long, or I've done something that doesn't transfer out into the real world. Like, I don't know what to do with myself, And so,
yeah,
if you don't have somebody,
Bruce,
yeah, my only identity is Army vet. Stop calling me out, Caleb. Hey man, you got to find some other stuff to do too. I mean, you do a pretty good job of that. But if you're stuck in being like, where's my military discount, bro? You got to get fucked, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, well, all the great resources that we have here in the United States for the people that serve our country, right? They just go to the vet stuff and they help them out with that.
Yeah. They give us like a transition course. Like you're supposed to like, oh, here's a couple weeks of classes. We're gonna tell you about what it's like here. We're gonna help you with your fucking resume, and we're gonna tell you, hey, these are all the transferable skills that you have. And then as soon as the day comes, like your badge gets revoked, and see you later, dude. Nobody gives a shit about you. Nobody cares, man. The cogs keep moving.
Yeah, you've already been used up and kicked to the curb. Chris, but self-discipline is not a mental disorder. Not what I was referring to there in terms of self-discipline. I was just saying, just leaning too hard into one thing and not looking at the how much time you actually have in your life focusing solely on sports, because very, very few percentage of that at all has a longevity in their sport past their teenage and early 20 years.
Exactly.
Okay, boom. Well, it's 8:10, so we're gonna have people showing up in this ballroom to start setting up in a moment here. Anything else you want to do before we sign it off?
No, I think that's it.
Well, that's good. This is the first time that we've had Sevan drop off and me not go into a complete panic.
I think we did okay.
Which is funny too, because we have obviously a lot of people that rotate in and out of the show, and like sometimes they'll get the confidence and they'll be like, "Oh, fuck this! I could just do this on my own, or I'll go somewhere else." And then in the absence of Sevan, like you could show how much like he's moving the show forward and how much that he is it, right? He's the foundation of it. And he makes all of us look really good. So
really
when he's here and it drops off, you can tell you're like, and it's funny because I had my own podcast for like 3 years, but I rely so much on him pushing the show forward and everything else that we're lucky enough that we just get to come and log in and sit down.
Exactly.
Right. And like his mind and like people I don't think realize like how much he puts into this. I mean, I know some of the regulars and stuff like that do, but I mean, his mind is always moving towards the show. It's always about advancing it. It's always about evolving it. It's always about content and everything else, and it makes it easy for us to just come on here and just kind of follow along on the coattails. I mean, especially what he's what he's done for me. It's like I'm sitting in this ballroom and have this opportunity only because of him, right? So if I would have prepared a little bit more material, we could have pushed this out a little bit longer to that 90-minute mark, and maybe he would have been stoked. Did we talk about Travis Mayer being out this year? He broke his hand, and all of us are really sad because Travis Mayer is the fucking man.
He's the dude.
So when I was flying back from Wadapalooza, super early in the morning, getting back onto the plane on Monday morning because I fly all the way back across the country. So it's like that full day of travel. And I always try to just get the hell out of there as early as I can. And I woke up and I'm beat because I was running around with my iPhone all weekend, doing the live stuff. And you know how demanding that is, Caleb. You're doing it from that end too. It's crazy. And so I'm just like super tired and I'm getting on the plane. And all of a sudden I see somebody with a phone, like pushing it, like it was pushing it towards me. They're like, "Hey, what were your thoughts of those last event?" And I like looked down and it's Travis Mayer on my plane.
No shit.
yeah. It was hilarious. I started cracking up. He's a great dude. He was one of the first people that when I went out to Wadapalooza made it really comfortable to kind of break the ice. I mean, him and Ariel Lowell, they were like super cool to me, broke the ice on it because people don't realize, like, and I didn't either because we always see it from this end, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just a fucking dude out there with an iPhone on a tripod, walking around, putting it in people's faces, asking questions like that. It's not.
It's
easy.
pretty funny watching you walk around. Like whenever I saw you at Wadapalooza, I was like, "This is hilarious," honestly.
Yeah. And you're just kind of like cruising around trying to find some sort of content and stuff like that. There was a question I saw up here, and I was
when I post that.
Yes, this.
Oh, good.
No, I was just gonna say, Brian Spin here put, "How about Tia doing 180 reps?" That is disrespectful. The disrespect Tia has to come on here and crush all of us pregnant like that. I mean, it just shows how amazing she actually is, and I'm not sure. We could have the debate as far as when the baby in the womb is a baby. But if we're gonna claim that a baby, is that the fittest baby in the world right now too? Is that how that works? Is it?
I think so.
Oh my goodness, that is incredible.
I can't believe she's doing toes to bar.
Jonathan sent through the DM, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just sent back the disrespect.
The disrespect.
Top 12% of women submitted scores. Incredible. And you know what, too? She'll probably get a bunch of shit, and people be like, "That's so bad for your baby. Oh my gosh." Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, not that fucking long ago, like, we didn't live in this bubble-wrapped society. Like, what happens if you were pregnant and a fucking bear came and attacked? Like,
seriously.
You had to run. You had to get away.
It's crazy what like is I guess prescribed, if you will, once women get pregnant. Like as soon as you go to the doctor and they're like, "Oh, hey, you're pregnant. Here's a host of things that you should not be doing," like quote unquote should not be doing.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you get make sure no weight bearing, or like make sure you're not on your feet for too long." All this other shit. It's crazy. In the military though, they like, at least for the docs that I work with who have been pregnant, they have them working basically until like a week prior to their due date. Like it's crazy what happens. They're like, "Oh, well, you can wear tennis shoes instead of boots, but you still need to be seeing patients for 10 hours a day. And I was like, damn. I was like, that's kind of fucked. But
yeah, and it's funny too because we had the whole debate like having a baby in the hospital versus not, and I get that there was a lot of tragedy that came back in the day, but like think about where we came from as a human race, right? Like you were just like in a fucking teepee and like had a baby there, and it was like, and we made it this far. So, and I'm not using that as argument because I know that at that time too, like infant mother death was extreme. So,
still
all
crazy.
right, I think that's it. Let's give us your most embarrassing moment making content at these things. I mean, all my embarrassing moments are public because I'm live the whole entire time. I mean, I still get shit for, oh, there's the two, right? It was when Sarah Sigmund's daughter didn't have her best showing in that one event, and it was funny because Ariel came out and started talking to me right away, and I was like, oh, my confidence is up. This is cool. Oh, there's Sarah. Let's go grab her. And she ran away. It's like, okay, it's crazy.
That was bold of you, but it was a good effort. It was a good effort.
And I love how it continues to escalate every time somebody retells it. They're like, "Yeah, she ran away and Sousa chased her down with the camera." And then the other
was
really
crying and yelling, "Get away from me!"
Yeah. And the other moment was like when after the swim event 2 years ago, and Haley's like knee was bleeding for whatever reason, and I just like came up and like point the camera at her knee, then point the camera at her face, and I was like, "That looks kind of bad. Are you okay?" And then she just walks away.
I don't remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that was not good on my part. But you know, you live and you learn. You got to test it out. And the thing is, too, is if you try to wait if you're out there making content like that and trying to talk to those athletes, if you wait for like a good moment, you're gonna get fucking nothing. Because you know, especially that first year when nobody really, you know, the podcast was still relatively new. Sure, we were known in the space, but it wasn't like how it is now. And so that's tough. Like people are just gonna come up to you. And now to this time around, I got that a little bit more, which was nice. Which helped kind of with my confidence getting out there and talking to them. But yeah, it's not an easy task. Oh, Trish, you lift me up and then you slap me down, huh? My historical data from the Flintstones. Well, that's not true because the Flintstones are a vitamin. So I don't even know what you're talking about.
I only know them as a vitamin.
Imagine that, a fucking pressed pill as like a vitamin targeted towards kids.
They're the best ones.
Oh, Sakura, again, thank you. I don't know if you saw the episode, but thank you so much for the Nano 2s. That was awesome. Really appreciate that.
That's dope.
The primetime Alex Stein of maybe I just go that route and just go fucking lunatic and like run up and be like, "Hey, I heard you were screwing so and so. Is that true? Is that true?" And put a camera on their face.
That'd be fantastic.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, anything else you would like to add here, Kid, before we sign it off?
No, this has been a lot of fun, Sousa. Glad we got ambushed today.
Yeah, that was good. You always got to be kicked down to the deep end and see if you could swim or not, right?
Sure. Yep. Got to.
Yeah. Susan Hiller said, no, I got yelled at. I went back and watched that one, and we were there during the when California Hormones bought everybody a drink after our CEO board meeting at the games. And it's funny because I watched that back, and you could see you could see Hiller and Hipstein like in the small corner of my camera, which was just set up sitting there as I was like talking with everybody, and you could hear Sevan yelling like, "Pick up the camera, run, Susan, get over there with it. What's he doing?" He's just sitting there talking, and I had like no idea Hiller was even over there. That was happening. I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
I was like, I don't think he
That
can
was
hear
hilarious.
you. Yeah, he was. It's like turn it up, get the mic closer, mic closer.
Kenneth, this is just a fucking backhanded compliment.
You're so good, but
50%
also
of the viewership dropped. But yeah, you guys are cool.
I guess we'll go with you guys for now. Thanks,
Oh,
dude.
so funny.
When
Am
I
I gonna
post,
make it to the game this year? I don't know. Maybe. Sorry, kid.
when I posted that question about who has manlier hands between Colton Mertens or Sevan, from when Colton posted that
Yeah.
posted that video with the audio.
Yeah, that was great, by the way.
Ariel's husband Dylan DM'd me and said, "Neither is me."
Dylan's awesome.
I was like, "That's
Dylan's
fucking
awesome.
hilarious. What a good dude."
Katie, the funny thing about that is in 2017, I started a podcast, and the 20 viewers that just left were my 20 viewers that only watched it. So I actually did an interview with Sevan, the first person to interview Sevan, drove to his house and interviewed him in his garage. No CrossFit talk. It was just about his kids. And then I interviewed Adrian Bosman and Craig Howard. And then that was transitioning into helping out with this podcast. So I did have my own podcast. I did it every single week. I also used to film a ton of stuff with the gym and make little videos about it when my members would go to competitions or lifting meets and all that type of stuff too. So I also, back in the day, used to film all my friends skateboarding. This is when it would have like the mini high 8 tapes and you'd have to plug it in. It was like right when a lot of the digital stuff came out. I think we got like Final Cut like downloaded illegally off LimeWire and like would edit up the videos that way. And I would go around and film all my friends that skated, and I was good enough to be in like the good group of skaters, but definitely not like the top tier. Like a lot of
you could like ollie and kickflip and then just ride around.
No. I could do more than that. You had to at least board slide the Carnegie handrail here in Livermore, and you had to do some sort of trick down the Granada 8. It's a actually, yeah, you probably could look it up. Carnegie Park in Livermore, California. And that was like it was like what they called the beginner handrail. So you had to board slide that in order to like be in the cool kid. Yes, 100%. I filmed with a fisheye lens. Ken Flap, did you film with a fisheye lens? Yes, and got it like super close. It was hilarious. What are your thoughts on individuals doing CrossFit and Globo gyms? I mean, a ton of people start there and then they realize they don't want to be looked at like a weirdo, and they usually go to an affiliate. The interesting thing about a lot of the access only gyms, yes, oh, look at you, Caleb. So you'll have to go to the front entrance. That's the side. Yep. And then go down. Yep. And then spin. And then can you go in any further? But that stair set right there in front of the fountain. So interesting story about that stair set. When we went down there to board slide it, one of my friends got his foot caught in the rail and fell down the flight of stairs and landed on his fucking face and busted out his 2 front teeth.
No shit.
Yeah, and it was crazy because he looks up, and when he looks up, it was just blood is pouring. And we filmed everything we did back then, right? So we had it on film, but there was that fountain. Ah, there it is. Yep. Yeah, that handrail right there. You had the board slide. So for those of you guys that are listening to this, there's like I think it's like a 6 or 7 stair handrail. It's got a super short runway, and then it runs right into the fountain. So you had to stand on the stairs, drop the board down. You got one good push, and then you had to hit the handrail. This is a 7 or 8 stair. Trish, I can't remember, but I just had dreams of that fountain because it was like making this like noise, like this, and that's like when he hit the ground, it was just like boom. Yeah, he stood on the stair, you drop the board down, one good push, and you go. And that was the problem. His foot was too far forward on the board. And so when he went to ollie to hit the stairs, his foot slid off the front of the top of the board, and then he tripped on the handrail. So it was nuts.
Do you follow Nigel Houston?
Oh, yeah.
So the videos that he's been posting of like every like miss that he's had, I don't know how you say that, but he has just like a series of videos where he just posts the like everything that he's ever missed basically, and it is disgusting, like the falls that he's had from like 10 stairs, 15 stairs, 20 stairs.
Yeah, it's bad.
Gnarly, dude.
Long swoopy hair. I didn't have that long hair back then, but it was long. But yeah, that was kind of the entry point, right? So then what I did with the camera and the illegally downloaded version of the editing software was I went to all my buddies and I went, hey, I'll film you guys. Yeah, that handrail is gnarly. And I would film all of them, and then I would make a little DVD, and I'd go down to the local skate shop, and I would help get them sponsored. And then, yeah, that sucks. And once they would get sponsored, like I'd make them the tape, I'd go there, I'd drop it off to the owner of the skate shop, and we talked about it, then the skater would come in, and then I would just ask for like free stuff. So once they got sponsored, I'd be like, hey, like give me like a free board, or like if you get a discount, like buy me this or whatever. DC or Osiris. The Osiris D3s. If you didn't have a pair of those Osiris D3s at some point, did you even really skate? Trish, come on, is that even a question? You pretty much had me pegged on this show. You should know Trish asked street or vert. 100% street skater. I mean, we made some of the ramps, but at the same time, too, there wasn't. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, bro. They were fucking moon boots.
Those are disgusting.
Dude, they were gnarly. And you'd wear them with like baggy pants and shit, you know? And the tongue would be totally pulled forward and partly laced.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my
RB,
God.
do I know you? Todd from the Board Shack? Is that who you're talking about right now? That's a throwback. Or was that Union Skate Shop?
Or is it Todd, the one who gave you your first handy?
Oh, that's what he's talking. Oh, you're so good, Caleb. You're right. You're right. I'm like thinking about the skate shops in Livermore. Like, which one was? I think it was Mike who owned the Board Shack. And this dude, there'd be like a bunch of like 7th graders in there. This fool would go to the back and just rip a bong and shit, and then come back out and be like, "You guys want to watch a skate video or get some free stickers?" It was hilarious.
Dude, I love stickers.
Dude, this dude bought so much inventory. The skate shop was just stacked with shit, and like within like a handful of years, of course, he was out of business. But it was pretty funny.
My God, that's hilarious.
Oh goodness. Okay. All right. I'm ready to jam. I gotta get some stuff over here.
All right. Do I need to end it?
We held it down for a little bit. Yeah, you could end it.
All right. Cool.
Adios, everybody. Have a great day.
Later, dudes.